welcome to another Hurricanes game day as you look inside Hard Rock Stadium. And what a game day it is. All you have to say is it's FSU game time. Yeah, that's right. Miami and Florida State.
Baby,
Oh, yeah. You know it. You got the smoke again, Michael?
You see the smoke, baby. You see the smoke. Yeah, baby. You see the
He's
smoke.
got it again. Wait. This week it's real smoke. I think it's real smoke this time. It's not just Lysol. It's real smoke. We came prepared.
Party City, man. I got an upgrade, man, with Party City. I'm still waiting on the Ivans to come here with the fire extinguisher. But, you know, hey, man, I got to make do with Party City, baby.
Hey, make do indeed, and it looks good. Will Manso, you see Michael Barrow, though, Josh Darrow as well. And, you know, when you talk about game day, it doesn't get much bigger than Florida State game day, guys. And there's not much, you know, they always say throw out the score, throw out the history, throw out our script pretty much, because all you have to say is Florida State to understand the importance of this game. But, Michael, Florida State week, Florida State game day, what does that mean to a Hurricanes fan?
Well, first of all, I was just thinking about it. If you know, with this coronavirus, a lot of things have been taken away, right? And I was thinking about this rivalry. Just think about the sports world. Like you asked about this UM Florida State rivalry. Just imagine sports history, Bird without Johnson. Imagine the Yankees without the Red Sox. Imagine Ali without Frazier, right? Imagine the Cowboys in the 70s without the Steelers, you know? So when you talk about UM and Florida State rivalry, you talk about legendary. You talk about history. From a player standpoint, you talk about one of those old family feuds, like because the majority of the guys, either they were teammates in high school, and then we go to enemy territory, and it's like, you're a traitor, right? And it becomes personal, man, and that it's the bragging rights. It's like the Brit brother against the little brother, like we're the big brother, obviously, and we can't let the little brother ever beat us. We got to always rub it in his face and put him in his place, and that's how it is, man. It's all about that, man, and more.
Yeah, and that's, you know, it really is everything to the Canes fan. I know that there are other games on the schedule. I know that there are other rivalries. But, Josh, you have, throughout the years, covered so many of these games, and you've talked to the players about what it means. So many players, I don't want to say it's the only reason they come to Miami, but certainly the chance to play Florida State on the big stage is a big reason they come to Miami.
Well, look, it's pretty simple. Manny Diaz has said this from the time he was the defensive coordinator here at the University of Miami. This is how you're measured as a player. What was your record against Florida State? This game just means more. Look, the former players, Reggie Wayne, Joaquin Gonzalez, those guys, they're tweeting this week, rivalry week. It means more. It's not, they don't do that for Duke. They don't do that for Virginia. They don't do that for Wake Forest. They don't do that for North Carolina. This is a remember when game. This is a moments game. This is a players game. This is the plays game. And Michael just said it. Think about the players that have played in this game. I've got a list here. It goes 80 deep. They got Dion. We got Benny. They got Jameis. We got Dorsey. They got Derek Brooks. We got Dan Morgan and John Vilma. They got Dalvin Cook. We got McGahee. And the list goes on. I could be here all segment. Talking about these guys. They got Balby. We got Howard. I mean, the list of players who have played in this game, it's NFL Hall of Fame, it's UM Hall of Fame, it's FSU Hall of Fame, it's the best of the best. And these guys, they know each other, they grow up living to play in this game, and it's what makes it so special. It's why this game, when the schedule is released, you look for one thing. When's Miami play Florida State?
It's true. And guys, you know, I've told this story many times to friends that know this. A big reason I went to the University of Miami as a student and ended up studying broadcasting was because of Miami, Florida State. When I was a kid, 11, 12 years old, I saw Benny Blades play on those old teams. And I've told Benny this story. I told Benny this story. I said, Benny, you're the reason I went to UM. You are literally the reason, because I saw you play. I fell in love with the orange and green. And that's it. And this rivalry made it. And so it's so important. Guys, we have got the next 2 hours to talk about the importance of it. We're going to hear stories of Michael as well playing in those games. We're going to bring you all kinds of surprises right here on Hurricanes Game Day. So keep it right here. We're getting you ready for Miami and Florida State coming up in less than 2 hours. Meanwhile,
we got those canes over here.
Just a week ago with our UPS delivery.
We got those canes over here. Roof.
Hurricanes going to throw. He's got a man. 40, wide open, Jalen Knighton. He might go all the way. He's at the 20, 15. Here we go, 10, 5. Jalen Knighton. He goes 75 yards for a Miami touchdown. Knighton takes it all the way home.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
As one of the more than 1,200 physicians on the University of Miami Health System team,
I want to welcome you.
Our facilities are open.
And we're ready to care for you.
Our commitment to your health is unwavering.
And we have implemented many new guidelines to keep you safe.
We are ready to care for you.
In our facilities or virtually, wherever you are.
We're ready.
And we look forward to caring for you.
See a specialist today, in person or virtually.
This year, the game plan is different. Hard Rock Stadium won't have all 65,000 of you bringing each game to life. But that can't stop you from making your presence as a Canes fan known. The Miami Hurricanes team store has everything you need for football in 2020. Find Canes apparel to wear for men, women, and kids. Represent the U wherever you are this football season. Shop now at shopmiamihurricanes.com.
Sometimes, ordinary tasks can become extraordinary feats. The Joint Chiropractic helps to keep you moving through everyday life and beyond. Visit today and receive your initial consultation, exam, and adjustment for just $29. The Joint Chiropractic. You're back, baby.
Welcome back to Hurricanes Game Day. Yes, Hard Rock Stadium, the site of the annual state showdown, the rivalry game between Florida State and 12th ranked Miami. We are getting you ready. We've got no less than 2 hours till kickoff, and we will be there every step of the way, taking you until the Canes come right out of the smoke and get ready for the Noles. Will Manso, Michael Barrow, and Josh Darrow here on Hurricanes Game Day. So glad you could join us. And guys, segment one, we talked a little bit about the history, and we're certainly going to spend a lot of time talking history of this rivalry and the great games. But Michael, as you look at the Hurricanes, I mentioned they're ranked 12th in the country. This team's off to a 2-0 start. They're playing good football, and the big reason why is quarterback D'Eriq King. And I wanted to start talking about the Miami offense, what King has brought, his patience, his understanding of the offense. What has impressed you about this young man, the way he's taken over this role as the Canes starting quarterback?
Well, before I get to him, man, just watching the last game, man, what I learned from our offense is that, first of all, Cam Megatron Harris is a grown man. He's a beast, man. Second consecutive games, 134 yards. And then up front, man, I call those guys, I said in the last show, the Miami Mule, right? Because they're overworked and unappreciated. And those guys are doing an outstanding job, man. The late, great Gail Sarah said that, hey, all I need is 18 inches of daylight, where they give him like a room that an 18-wheeler can go through. Those guys up front doing a great job. But when you talk about D'Eriq King, man, in this Showtime offense, he's the magic man. He's the point guard, man. He's the one that get this thing rolling. And from this first game here you see against UAB, and to a second game that he played, it was night and day. Right there, you got a three-man rush, eight-man drop, Tampa 2, and then you look at it from the back angle, as we're going to see, right? He felt uncomfortable in the pocket. He had happy feet, even though it's three-man rush, and he's standing as a receiver down, and this actually a bad throw. This easily could have been a pick, right? But then now you go to the next game, right? Same situation, three-man rush, same zone defense. Look at him. He's going to his first, second, and third read. Actually, his fifth read, man. Just look at his patience, confidence in the pocket. Look at him. He starts to the left, going right here. Bam, finds an open guy and making it happen. And when you see it, same play. Now look at this. This was like Patrick Mahomes on that State Farm commercial, right? I mean, he's rolling to his left, squares out, and just flick it. I mean, look at this catch. Look at, my man Harley making that excellent catch, man. What a throw, right? And then I love this. He recognized pre-snap blitz, a corner blitz, find an open guy, getting it done, man. Hey, this guy here, hey, the reason why our offense showed up and showed out this last game, he was the main benefactor of that because he came ready to play. He knocked the dust off, man, and he was going, baby. I love what I saw. Magic, baby.
So impressive, Michael. And, Josh, when you look at a quarterback, they always say a quarterback's best friend is a tight end. The Canes have two quality tight ends. And we talked in our first show when it was the UAB game that the Canes, we all agreed, had the best 1-2 punch at tight end. And 2 games in, I don't think that they've disappointed. What have you seen, and in particular against Louisville, that King was able to use the talent he has at tight end?
Well, I think what we need to look at in Miami's passing game, I know some of it's the discussion has been, well, what's up with the wide receivers? And certainly they had their drops against Louisville, and King and those guys had a hard time connecting a little bit in game 1. But I think if we look at this a little bit differently, instead of looking at what's wrong with the wide receivers, what if we look at who are the best receivers on this team? And the best receivers on this team just happen to be tight ends in Brevin Jordan and Will Mallory. The ESPN put out the top 25 players in the ACC before the season. Miami had 3 players on that list. 2 of them were transfers, King and Roche. The 3rd player was Brevin King, and he came in at 25. He's also the only Hurricane to be in all ACC preseason selection. So we know how talented this group is. Brevin Jordan, to put it in perspective, this year, through 2 games, I know it's 2 games, averaging 17 yards a catch, okay? Last year, Tamorian Terry, Scary Terry from FSU, 20 yards a catch. T. Higgins, Clemson, 19 yards a catch. Tutu Atwell, 18 yards a catch. So Brevin Jordan is giving the kind of production that the ACC has seen out of some of the top wide receivers in this conference. And the other thing, even though Brevin Jordan, as we see here, just look at that incredible athletic ability, even though it's Brevin Jordan, Will Mallory, I know he's got the 1 catch, and I know it's for the touchdown. Brevin Jordan's production seems to dwarf that. But I'm telling you, the coaches were really high on Will Mallory coming out of camp, and I think there's more to come from Will Mallory. I think these 2 guys are going to be a serious matchup problem today for Florida State, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. But look at Brevin Jordan running wide open in the middle of the field, and the great thing about Lashley is how he aligns him, right? You'll have him attached at the line of scrimmage. You'll have him flexed out. You'll have him at a little bit of an H-back. They'll put him in motion. So how Rhett Lashley has, my man Michael Barrow likes to say, LL, he's coordinating the music, man. He's producing. He's got the turntables turning. He's got it all working. But I'm telling you, it's not as much about maybe what's wrong with the receivers for Miami. It's looking at it from who the best receivers are. They just happen to play a different position.
Michael, you've coached before. You know what that's like.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no doubt, man. You got me excited, man. When you talk about LL, man, ladies love LL Cool J, man. UM fan, man, love Coach Lashley, man. This dude is a standard. You talk about the matchup. You talk about with him. Talking to him last week, he's like, look, I want to put pressure on the defense. I want them to cover the entire field. And when you look at the game, that's what he's doing from the horizontal route to the vertical route. Hey, Louisville didn't have a chance. From the bubble pass to the boots to throwing the ball deep, man. And then you talk on matchups like you talk about getting guys in position to make plays. One thing I love about his creativity, right, is this one play, man, that we talked about. He came with his unbalanced package. I want to go to the field with this because this was unbelievable because the first game, he didn't show it at all. Now, go back to the first clip if we can. All right, so freeze right there. Can we stop? All right. Okay. Oh, we missed the first clip. All right, so what happened with this unbalanced package, right? All right, the thing about it is unbalanced package, you take all the eligible receivers and you put them on the front side. With that particular package, right, you only have 2 defense are limited in what they can call. And this play right here, it sets them up. Oh, man, golly. It sets them up to what they're trying to do. Right here in this unbalanced package, he knows they're limited in what they can do. So here he goes. He run a quarterback lead. It's a negative play. But don't worry about it. That setback is going to be a setup because, look, here's the setup. The same formation, the same thing. Now, they think it's the run, but look, here's the setup off that play. Here's the setup where he's scoring, and that's what he did. In this particular unbalanced package, he scored 3 explosive touchdowns in that game. 3 of them, and truth be told, he could have had 2 more. But we had some brain farts. Listen, this offense, I love what Coach LL is doing. The only thing that is stopping us is us. All right, self-inflicted wounds with the penalties and the drop pass. Hey, once we clean that up, man, we're going to be rolling. LL, choo. Get on that LL train, baby.
LL, baby, it's Love Lashley. And that is, you know what I love, guys? I know that we can't listen to everything Canes fans, we all get irrational. Look, I consider myself, I'm a fan. I get irrational too. But it's funny how in week 1 against UAB, they kind of didn't show a lot. And then week 2, everybody's like, we love Lashley. He's the savior. It's funny how that changes a mindset when you see what this guy can do, because he's obviously got the brain for it.
Yeah, in addition to that, what I love about it is that when he explores the film, man, he's looking for some weaknesses. And that unbalanced package that I was talking about, like I told you early, defense, when you go, you got to it's a check because it's one of those exotic formations. So heading in the game, you may only have 1 or 2 coverages or 1 or 2 defenses for that. And he exploited that thing so well, because when you brought all 3 receivers over, all right, the tight end on the end of the line of scrimmage, he was ineligible. All right, he knew he was getting 0 coverage on the outside. So it was just like whatever they did, they made adjustment. He made adjustment off of it, and it was excellent. He actually motioned on that long run to Cam. He didn't even show it. He didn't line up in unbalance. He motioned unbalanced, and I love the variations that he do, because then now they had to adjust on the fly, and now it created a mismatch, and then now bam, you see Cam Megatron Harris running down the sideline. So I love what his creativity. I love how he goes into the game and exploit the weaknesses of the defense. And like Josh said earlier, create those mismatches where we get some points on the board. I love it.
Looking forward to see what he's got up his sleeve today in the rivalry game against Florida State. One of the things we love, we love Lashley. We love passionate Canes fans. And every week here at Hurricanes Game Day, we get to meet him in a segment called Coast to Coast Canes.
I became a Canes fan with my dad. And my mom's side of the family are huge Notre Dame fans, and my dad just wanted no part of that. So naturally, he found kind of like the biggest rival at the time, and that was kind of around in the 80s. He went with the Canes and kind of just raised me as a Canes fan. And as I got older, I just became more and more involved. Took the passion to another level, and here we are. Not a whole lot of Canes fans out here, but we definitely rock all the Canes stuff proud all year long. Everybody sees my license plates, and if they're a fellow fan, they might throw up the U at me and stuff, and I'll throw it back. My wife has let me have the entire basement basically dedicated to the Miami Hurricanes, so I just continue to accumulate more memorabilia, game-used helmets and autographs and things like that. For big plays and stuff, we get pretty rowdy. We usually kind of isolate ourselves from the rest of the family just because we get so excited watching games. I mean, my son is starting to come down and watch games with us now that he's getting a little bit older. During our wedding, which was one of the best days of my life, but she worked in the Miami Hurricanes into her vows for me, saying that she would be there when we had tough seasons, and then we also did the Unity Sand in orange and green. We've taken trips down to see them play Florida State, take my wife and my mom and now my son. Hopefully here in the next couple of years, we'll be able to come with us as well. He's been wearing Canes stuff since day one. His first clothes that he wore in the hospital was a little Miami Hurricanes onesie. I've been training him since he was little to do the All About the U, and he's quite proficient at it now.
The COVID-19 pandemic has created challenges for all of us, but Canes are resilient. Canes are united. As an athletics department, we are facing significant financial challenges related to the pandemic, but we remain committed to our mission of building champions. We stand united in support of our young men and women and launched the Canes United COVID-19 Relief Initiative. Show your support of the Canes by making a gift today at umcanesunited.com.
We understand your passion to play, your love of the game. We live and breathe it too. At our core is a deep, relentless pursuit to heal the body and alleviate pain, to rehabilitate spirits and restore quality of life, to elevate your performance. Because we not only innovate medicine, we preserve dreams and inspire futures. We are the University of Miami Sports Medicine Institute. So no matter what takes you out of the game, we'll help get you back in. We'll help you recover your game.
Download the new Miami Hurricanes app today for the ultimate Canes fan experience.
Bring it up. We're going to individual. Offense will be on this side. Defense will be on that side. Get a hand up. Don't play the song if you're going to play it on low, man. Get up, man. It's too quiet. You can't put Phil Collins on and have it on silent mode, man. Front, D-line up front. Hey, turn your mask over the other way. Get your spots. That way. Look it in. It's going to be offense up first. Okay, we're going to receive a kickoff. They're kicking that way. There we go. Offense up. Go for it. Let's go. Kickoff. First down. We're kicking field goal. There you go. Don't let them walk off. Miami punt. 3rd and 1. PAT, yeah. So just don't panic. If it's a field goal, I'd probably call timeout. Yeah. Right, but just if it's happening, oh my God, because right there it's like 3, 2, 1. But if you're good about it, we'll just play, okay? Yeah. Nice job. Nice job. Call something else, play. Call some red just to see if we can cover. That way to run. Good job,
I don't want to squib it to the end in that situation, don't you? You don't want it in the returner's hand.
Yeah, start.
You know what I mean?
No, I know.
That's pretty good.
No, I mean, that'd have been the 3 seconds we wanted to run off. One PAT. Timeout. Good job, all the way off. Pump block. That way to go. Go hard. Pump block. That way to go hard. That way, Mike. I like this, John Campbell. The big thing, coaches, on 3rd down, stop getting in doubles and triples and throwing the ball. They're not going to do that against us.
If I can put the Eric back in if you want to do it.
No, I don't want to do it. No, it's me. I mean, this will be your 4-minute in theory.
We can get that.
Is there more value to put?
I think so. Tyler.
I do too.
Let him get some plays.
And I want to remind you of how hard it is to do great things. We talk about how we have a respect for things that are hard. Winning a game is hard. If you want this to be a career for you, it is hard, and you have to respect that. 1, 2, 3, let's go.
Further proof that a head coach never stops talking, not even during a scrimmage. It's going to keep on going and coaching. Will Manso, Micheal Barrow, Josh Taylor here on Hurricanes Game Day. We get you ready for Miami, Florida State. And guys, we've got so much to talk about. Last segment, we talked offense, Miami. So much good. Defense, there's been a lot of good as well. Some things that need to be improved on. But, Josh, the one thing that you'd love to see in that game against Louisville was the effort. And there aren't really stats that show effort. But as you watched the game and you saw what Miami was able to do, what impressed you about that effort?
Well, there aren't stats that show effort, but Mike knows this. The film shows effort. The eye in the sky shows effort. And one thing Manny Diaz has always talked about since the time he got here, it's not what you do, but it's how you do it. Look at Nesta Severa here. Look at him chasing down this play to the sideline, 15 yards across the field. Now watch Nesta, gets cut. Watch him chase it down. Makes the tackle. That is unbelievable effort from your nose tackle. Jalen Phillips gets cut. And now watch him chase down Cunningham and force a bad play. You know the coaches are loving this kind of strain from their team. Now the strength from Phillips, top of the screen, throws the right tackle, comes down and makes the play. The Hurricane defense is predicated on toughness, tackling, and effort, and that's what you saw. Look at Jalen Phillips just move that right tackle out of the way and come down the line of scrimmage. Now look at Bubba Bolden. The big thing about Bubba, we know he was long, we know he was rangy, but what the coaches have loved seeing from him through the first 2 games is closing space and putting ball carriers on the ground, tackled at the hip, wrapping, as we saw Manny Diaz talk last week, and putting them on the ground rugby style. Now, look, Jalen Phillips comes in, creates pressure, and 4 Hurricanes are around Cunningham. And again, great effort by the University of Miami defensively, doing exactly what Manny Diaz wants. And what does that culminate in? The chain, baby. Yeah, 300 grams of bling hanging around your neck. I lost track. 1,400 sapphire stones on the U, 1,900 sapphire stones of the state of Florida. And you guys saw, by the way, you saw where that U was located, right? Sitting right on top of our state's capital. Today's opponent, Florida State, they're going to feel that U. But when that chain comes out, woo, you know something special's happening. But let me tell you this, Mike and I talked about this. Al Blades, he gets to wear the chain. But when you watch the coach's copy, we talk about effort. He's running across the field. And because he never gives up on the play, he can run through the receiver, make the pick, and then put that nice piece of jewelry on.
He earned that turnover, Trey, that's for sure. It was great to see after nothing in UAB to see some turnovers against Louisville. Michael, I know when you watch a game as a defensive guy, I mean, you probably see things that others don't, and there's things you're paying attention, the detail. So your general thoughts on the defense and what you saw against Louisville, anything specific that maybe caught your eye as well?
Oh, man, I love what Josh was talking about when you see a big boy like Nestor running, man, look like he's trying to case a ice cream truck, baby. I love when big guys go eat, man. But one of the things, in addition to what Josh was saying, man, UM is doing a great job on third down conversion, getting off on the field. Right now they had 29 opportunities. All right, offense, 29 opportunities. They only got 7. So that's 24%. UM is doing great on third down. Another area they're doing on a great job is tackle for loss. They got total of 18 right now. Quincy Roche is leading up with 3.5. And this past game against Louisville, they had 10. Now, one of the things that they need to improve on to take that next step, right? And just like the offense, they got to avoid the self-inflicted wounds, right? Right now, what I'm talking about, in the red zone, right? Right now, team get in the red zone. It's nothing they're doing. It's all what we're doing. Whether bad odds or the guys not in the right place, blown coverages. Right now, teams get in the red zone. They 8 for 8. They're going 6 touchdowns and 2 field goals. We can't have that, right? Also, explosive runs, right? We got to clean that up. When I'm talking about explosive runs, I'm talking about runs 10 or more, right? And passes 20 or more. So right now, runs 10 or more, we're giving up 14 runs and 11 explosive passes, and you can't have that. So let's deal with, later on, I'm going to talk about how we fix that part. But one thing I want to fix is how to fix the run defense, because everything starts up front. Roll the tape for me. Let me get to the beginning of the tape. And this is what I'm talking about. When you stop the run, pause for a second, all right? When you stop the run, especially outside zone, you got to have an edge. You got to get your feet in the neutral zone. And then the front side got to fit, and the back side got to hit. When you look at that play on the front side, we didn't fit properly. We had great feet in the neutral zone, but front side with Al Blades and the linebacker, we got to get it. Now, this next play is the same identical play. Let it run. Same identical play. Look at the line of scrimmage, right? We got to have an edge. We got to get our feet in the neutral zone. Feet in the neutral zone. Look. And then now front side linebackers are running. They're running and fitting, and backside hitting, right? Now, let's go to Louisville game, like I just mentioned it. We gave 14 explosive runs. 9 of them came in the Louisville game. Same thing, outside stretch. We got feet in neutral zone. Great job by Jalen, but backside. Front side, we got an edge. They fit it correct, but backside, you got to run and hit. And unfortunately, Quincy Roche, he lost leverage. You'll see it right there. He's right there. He's in between. Look, he closed his hip. You got to keep this ball inside of you. He can't let this ball outside of him. And then also, the corner's at fault too. You can't come underneath Al Blades. All your help is inside. You got to contain. So there. Now look at the same situation. Lead. All right. Feet in the backfield. Look at the D line. Playing in a backfield, baby. It all starts up front. Hey, set the edge. Get your feet in the neutral zone, right? Front side got to run and fit. Back side got to run and hit. And that's how it should look every time. Take that play and throw it in the trash can, right? That's what you need to do. When you execute, all right, it's not about anything they're doing. It's about what we're not doing. And once again, if we set the edge, we get our feet in the backfield, that means penetrate, right? Front side of the play, hey, run and fit. Back side of the play, hey, run and hit. Don't miss the layup, baby. It would be beautiful. It'll be a masterpiece. Woo-la, every time, baby.
I love that. And that's the thing. Through 2 games, things aren't going to be perfect. It's a work in progress, and you see great signs from this defense. But, Josh, to Michael's point, he referenced it a little earlier. We want to go in deeper on that. Big pass plays. One way that you can let a team in quickly is to allow that big play. When you watch Miami, what they did, there were some instances in that. What did you notice?
Well, look, when you look at a Manny Diaz defense and now a Blake Baker defense, but it's all the same thing. It's about obviously limiting scoring in the red zone. It's about tackling and putting guys on the ground. But the big key in the pass game is no X plays, no explosive plays. And Mike talked about it in the run game. And in the pass game, you look through the first 2 games, Miami has given up 8 pass plays over 20 yards. And that's just too many through 2 games. You look back to 2018, when they were the number 1 ranked pass defense in the country, they gave up 28 plays of 20 or more the entire season. So right now that number is not trending in the right direction. And you go back to the first 2 games against UAB and against Louisville, it's not really bad breakdowns. It's not bad coverage. But at the end of the day, Miami's not finishing the plays. Miami's not finishing the plays. They're there, but they're turning their head the wrong way. They're looking for the ball over the wrong shoulder. They're losing contact with the wide receiver, and the opponent's been coming up with some big plays. So really, those big pass plays have hurt Miami. You can kind of call them 50-50 balls. You can look at it from how Miami's finishing, but at the end of the day, in UAB and Louisville with some of the X plays, Miami's been in position. The DBs have been in position. To Corey Couch, Bubba Bolden, DJ Ivey, those guys have been in position. But at the end of the day, the wide receiver has finished the play and not Miami's defensive back. And the reason why we bring this up, number one, like Will said, X plays are the easiest way to change a game, right? X plays flip fields, X plays create momentum, and X plays put points on the board. And when you look at Florida State, what do they like to do? James Blackman likes to push the ball down the field, and they got a wide receiver in Tamorian Terry who led the ACC in yards per catch a year ago. So that's why it's important for Miami to tighten that up.
We're certainly going to talk more X's and O's throughout the next 90 minutes or so. We'll also talk plenty of history here on Hurricanes Game Day. And boy, when it comes to Miami, Florida State, you get a lot of that. But as we go to break, we take a moment to recognize a hometown hero.
Hey guys,
I was a young parent. My daughter was born when I was 19 years old. For me to be able to be the father that I wanted to be and to provide for my family, some things had to change. And I joined the military primarily because I wanted to instill discipline, instill perseverance. And I really felt that the military was going to be a great training ground for me to develop those skill sets. And it didn't disappoint. I definitely got quite a bit of discipline and learned quite a bit of perseverance over my 11 years. I was a Miami kid. I was born in Brooklyn. I lived there long enough to get the accent, but then my family moved us to Miami, and it's all about the U. Growing up, going to the Orange Bowl, and my first football games were with my dad were UM games, and so it was just a dream of mine to be a UM student. The Veteran Students Organization is an eclectic, diverse group of individuals. I realized, man, I need to do something to leave it better than how I found it. So when folks come out of the military, while their transition might be bumpy, I just want them to be able to know that there's somebody out here that they can lean on. I'm honored to be amongst those that are being recognized, and I'm just so thankful that UM Athletics recognizes that our veterans and our military personnel, they are hometown heroes. They're the ones that are, they raised their right hand and they swore an oath and to protect and defend the Constitution. And they volunteered and had a career and served. That act of selflessness is really special. Go Canes!
As one of the more than 1,200 physicians on the University of Miami Health System team,
I want to welcome you.
Our facilities are open.
And we're ready to care for you.
Our commitment to your health is unwavering.
And we have implemented many new guidelines to keep you safe.
We are ready to care for you.
In our facilities or virtually, wherever you are.
We're ready.
And we look forward to caring for you.
See a specialist today in person or virtually.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
This year, the game plan is different. Hard Rock Stadium won't have all 65,000 of you bringing each game to life. But that can't stop you from making your presence as a Canes fan known. The Miami Hurricanes team store has everything you need for football in 2020. Find Canes apparel to wear for men, women, and kids. Represent the U wherever you are this football season. Shop now at shopmiamihurricanes.com.
Snap. Rozier throws. Langham. He's got it. Into the end zone. Touchdown. It's a touchdown. It's a touchdown.
Add a name to the legend of Miami and Florida State.
Like all great moments when they're on Miami's side, I think I've watched that about 100 times. It's the streak begins, and it is a 3-game winning streak for the Hurricanes against the Noles, so you love to see that. Will Manso, Micheal Barrow, and Josh Darrow here, Hurricanes Game Day. And guys, we're going to talk plenty of history. We're going to have those moments. We're going to count you down to number one. I think most people know what number one may be. Maybe, what do you think? Maybe some kickers involved? I don't want to give it away, but we may be.
I want to see that Aaron Reed speeches. Don't ask me how I feel. Why can't you say dominate or Michael Irvin?
I think you're on to something, Michael. I think you're on to something.
Yeah.
Don't give them all away, Mike. Like Scooby Snacks, dude. Don't give it all away. Dude. Don't give it all away.
Slow it down. There's big hits. There's big plays. There's bad kicks. There's all kinds of stuff. Hey, guys, if we come back, look, it's only 2 games into the season. It's certainly a unique season. Some leagues haven't even started up yet. Canes were off to a nice 2-0 start, but fans already are going to jump up and say, hey, we're number 12 right now. We're ranked 12. And Michael, as a player, and for Manny Diaz as a coach, how do you kind of balance the ranking, the expectations, understanding you're just 2 games into the season, but Miami's in a very good position right now, again, ranked 12th currently in the latest AP poll.
And that's all it is. I mean, they're 2 games in the season. That says enough, man, to say they don't hand out a crown after 2 games. I mean, it's nothing. You can, at the hype and all that stuff, man, we had a saying, don't believe the hype. And that's the thing about it, man. The battle is won every day on the field. And one thing that we got to do a better job of talking to Manny about, which he'll totally agree, is that we can't play to the level of our competition. We can't worry about the outside noise, right? We gotta just tune all that out, man. Every day, man, we gotta come and get it done. Every day, right? A coach used to tell me all this all the time, right? Every day you either get better or worse. You never remain the same. So I'm talking about practice too, right? You can't just wait for the game to show up. So guys that have that AI mentality, like Ed Reed said when he got hired, he said those type of guys got to go because we need to battle every day. And anybody that went to UM and we won championship, they'll tell you the greatest battles didn't take place in the Orange Bowl or Hard Rock Stadium. The greatest battles that we had took place at Green Tree Field, and that's what you have to do day in and day out, regardless of who you playing. You got to get it done. For example, I'll give you this. I was coaching at Seattle Seahawks, and we just won a big game, and one of the young guys yelled, hey, Monday off. Yeah, we want Monday off. Cam Chancellor say, shut up, be quiet. We want to come in and work. And that's the mentality you got to have, that you can't be reading newspaper clips. You got to continue to eat crumbs. You got to continue to eat crumbs right now until the job is finished. And we need, at this point, great leaders and great teammates. Great leaders are one. Number one, they accomplish the mission, and they make every decision in the best interest of the team in mind. Great teammates set the standard, and they make sure they held everybody to that same standard. They hold them in check. They make sure that we talk about LOB, Love Our Brothers, or Canes for Life. They make sure that every guy, all right, uphold that standard, that whatever they set. And they got to stand it now, like Josh mentioned about the effort and doing things the right way, and they're holding that standard. And so the price every day has been paid on the practice field. So then for me, when you continue to do that, you don't worry about your rankings, all that stuff. That's crowd noise because the schedule is set up where if we take care of business, we're going to be right where we need to be.
And Josh, to Michael's point, you know, you come to Miami and you expect to be there. I mean, you expect to be one of the better teams in the country. But let's be honest, that hasn't been the case in the last, 5, 6, 7 years. There have been moments Miami has been near that top 10, but for the most part, it's been outside. So from a player's perspective, these guys that come to Miami, when you talk to these guys about coming to the U, they want to put the U in that place, don't you? That's the expectation. Is let's get this conversation yearly where we see where being ranked 12th isn't a big shock. It's what you're used to.
Well, here's the thing, Will. We've been down this road before. Every year, we go down this same road. We win a game or two, and then we start asking the question, is this the year? Is this the season? Are we, I'm not even going to say it, okay?
Don't say it. Please don't say it. Don't say it.
I'm not going to say it because here are the facts. The facts are Miami's 46-35 in the ACC the last 10 years. The facts are they've been to one ACC championship game. And the facts are they've lost 3 straight bowl games, okay? So what Manny Diaz talked about to his team this offseason, he presented those facts to them. Before we beat Florida State 3 times in a row, we lost to them 7 times in a row. This is not easy. You have to respect and cherish the work. You have to cherish the challenge. Like Michael said, you have to take a hold of what goes on Green Tree, because if it was easy, it would have been done. If it was easy, we wouldn't be on year 18 or 19 of still asking the question that we continue to ask ourselves. So what does it come down to? It doesn't come down to this right here. It's not the you. It's about you. It's about your work. It's about your preparation. It's about your film study. It's about your nutrition. It's about taking care of each other. It's about what are you going to do to ensure that the work is put in, so we're not asking the questions after the fact of what happened or why not or what's it going to take. And when you look at some of the guys in the history of this program that we talked about earlier, Ken Dorsey, Michael Irvin, Ed Reed, Michael Barrow, John Vilma, Alonzo Highsmith, they were leaders. They were bosses. They were in charge of the team. Why is De'Ara King, why was he so welcome? Why is he so respected? Because he's a boss. Because he stays after practice. Because he brings guys aside and talks to them. He watches extra film. When we start talking about guys like Dorsey and Irvin and Alonzo and Reed and those guys as bosses and leaders beyond being players, then we know what's been accomplished. And that is what the process is about.
Wow.
Well said. Let me cue that one up. By the way,
God, you get me fired up,
Josh Darrow.
What can you
that
say,
one's going
Dominate?
down in history. I'm saving that one, Michael. I'm saving that one. All right. We got a lot more to talk about. That was a lot to take in because that was good stuff. It's getting you ready for Miami and Florida State. But when we come back, we'll certainly look more at the matchup, some enemy intel, and right now some U Health intel from Dr. Kaplan. I can't.
Dr. Kaplan, glad to have you back on Hurricanes Game Day. In our first show, you talked about the protocols that your sports medicine team has in place, but now I would love for you to elaborate on what the community can do to keep stopping the spread.
Well, unfortunately, they have to do a lot of things that we enjoy at Canes games, right? I love pulling up and seeing everybody barbecuing and tailgating and getting together. I mean, it's one of the great things about college football is that ability to get together with your friends and family and you know, people sit in the same section. They don't have any other social contact, but they all know that they're going to be there when we play on Thursday, Friday, or mostly Saturdays. But they really have to be strict. I mean, wearing masks has worked. The ability to get this under control. The last thing any of us want will be for the stadium to all become a pocket of any issues. So most importantly, washing their hands. The biggest things seem to be, you know, the eating and not eating next to somebody. And and spreading germs. As crazy as it is, we found out early that areas like singing in church were actually spreading disease, right? So yelling for the team, everybody needs to be wearing masks.
As one of the more than 1,200 physicians on the University of Miami Health System team,
I want to welcome you.
Our facilities are open.
And we're ready to care for you.
Our commitment to your health is unwavering.
And we have implemented many new guidelines to keep you safe.
We are ready to care for you.
In our facilities or virtually, wherever you are.
We're ready.
And we look forward to caring for you.
See a specialist today, in person or virtually.
Sometimes, ordinary tasks can become extraordinary feats. The Joint Chiropractic helps to keep you moving through everyday life and beyond. Visit today and receive your initial consultation, exam, and adjustment for just $29. The Joint Chiropractic. You're back, baby.
I'm hurt, dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right. Hell no. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it. I'm putting my heart in this, dog. Let's go, man. Bro.
Joaquin said dominate. Mike, where'd you get the shirt?
Hey, I got it from Joaquin. Joaquin said dominate, baby. Hey, listen. That never gets old, man. Every time I see Ed, I always say, Ed, don't ask me how I feel. Joaquin say dominate. I mean, I love that moment, man. And you would have thought that they were losing the game, bro. They were winning the game. But you talk about the standard, right? That he was frustrated because we wasn't dominating. That's the standard that we're talking about. That's where we need to get with. We can't settle for the crumbs to rank 12. That don't mean nothing to us, man. It's how good can we be? Can we go out there and dominate? So, man, I love that Ed Reed moment, man, because if you want to know what's described the mentality of a hurricane, of a baller, our standard, that's it. Because anybody else would have thought we was losing the game. No, we was winning. But we went dominating, man. And that's what we want to do every time on the field. We want to crush them like a bug, baby. We want to dominate.
Can you do me a favor, though?
Josh, you got me fired up, baby.
Have Joaquin ship a couple of those to me and Josh, though. I need one of those. I need one of those.
Yeah.
For the
Wait.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will. You know, it's funny. Mike talked a segment ago about great leaders and great teammates. I don't know, dude. He's wearing a T-shirt. I mean, I like my shirt. This is great, but you know, let's be a good teammate, Mike. Come on, I need a shirt.
Hey,
I need a shirt.
I got y'all. Joaquin watching this. Joaquin, hook us up, baby.
Joaquin, please, Joaquin. And by the way, you mentioned the shirts, Josh. Let's talk about the item of the game. I got this in my head for a reason. Thank you to the UM Campus Store for the swag. You can grab this game-made polo or the tumbler at shopufmiami.com or visit the store located right there on the beautiful campus in Coral Gables. It's going to come in handy. By the way, these shirts are incredible. I love the Joaquin said dominate, but these are very comfy shirts, Josh. It looks like we're going fishing.
Listen, no disrespect. This is beautiful, and I'm so glad that it's in my closet. I just, Mike, we're a team, right? I mean, you coach, you played. I just think about us next time. That's all. That's it. That's all I want to say. Just think about us.
I actually need another shirt. My shirt ripped when I did the Incredible Hulk, man. Did the Superman. So can I get another shirt?
Shop you.
Nice play. Well played, Mike. Well played, Michael. I saw how you did that.
You got me fired up, baby. You got me fired up, baby. You got me fired up. I want to run through the smoke again, baby.
Strong. These are some strong buttons, and Michael found the way to push them through. He's ready to dominate today. So are the Canes against Florida State. Manny Diaz certainly getting his team ready. There's a lot to break down when you look at film, and one of the things Manny Diaz highlights now in the breakdown this week against Louisville is to play the next play.
It is
It's now time for the breakdown segment with head coach Manny Diaz. And coach, what do you have for us this week?
The theme of 2020, play the next play. That's really what we adopted as a football team, starting with spring practice. But then once we went in the pandemic, all we can do is play the next play. That's the only thing we can control. That's every day, that's every hour, that's every minute. And this football team at Louisville had a drive that epitomized what play the next play means, and I want to show it to you and all of our fans to give you an idea. Okay. So we're late first quarter, and we've got a 3rd down and 9, and we're backed up. The ball is on our 15-yard line, okay? So the odds are not very good for the offense. We snap it. We got a one-on-one matchup with Will Mallory on their safety. Derek has a great pocket, steps up in the pocket, delivers a great throw to Will. So Will's got a big-time play, but this is really mentality of this team. He could have gone out of bounds right here around the 40, but he throws the man off, cuts back against the grain, stays in bounds, and picks up 30 more yards just by refusing to go out of bounds. Just a great mentality play. Gets a sideline fired up on the road. I think the longest play in Will Mallory's career. Just amazing, right? Except what? They call us for flinching right there. That slight movement. Now that happens probably 7 times a game and it's not called, but it's still a penalty. And it's called, right? So a real hammer blow for the football team, because now it's 3rd down and 14. You're backed up way deep. You got all this distance to make a first down. So many bad things can happen, right? Especially if your mentality is where? Still thinking about the last play. But when you talk about play the next play, and you got a quarterback like De'Aaron King who lives that mentality, watch what ends up happening. So again, Louisville says, well, we're going to drop 8 guys because Derek can't throw into maximum coverage. Offense means they're only rushing 3. Offensive line is giving Derek all day to throw. And then Mark Pope runs a great route, comes into the field, threatens this safety like he's going to break off a post, and then works it back outside. And look at this laser. Right there. It's Mark right on the money. Now, what does Mark do? Now he's just like Will, don't run out of bounds, get a stiff arm of the guy, and just barely touches the sideline. Otherwise, he has a chance to go.
So, Coach, you spend a lot of time making sure your players understand to live for the next play. And how has this offense and the pace of it helped you with this process?
Because when you go so fast, you don't have time to think about what just went wrong. And you also don't have time to think about what's right. You just go. And it forces you to be present. And greatness always happens in the present moment. It doesn't happen when you're thinking about yesterday or the play before or something else. So just that mentality of like, here we go. It doesn't matter whether it was good or bad. Look at this amazing pocket. You know what I mean? Boom. Rips it out there. First down. And again, stiff arm. And now, guess what happens? Now we get the tempo. And now, guess who's in a bad place? The defensive players, right? Because now they're the ones demoralized. So it was us. Could have been. Now let's see if Louisville can play the next play. Well, now look at the difference. We're already lined up, ready to go, and see the defense, they're already in chaos. So they're already out of their comfort zone. So away we go. Bang, Derek drops back, rips it right into Harley. Look at the chains. Look, the chains aren't even set up yet for the first down. Rips it to Harley. Bang, first down. Okay, here we go right again. The next play. Still the poor first down marker guy. Still can't even get lined up, right? All right, doesn't matter. Boom, hand the ball off. Okay, Louisville's still trying to communicate. Remember, two seconds ago, it was 3rd and 14. Hand the ball off. Offensive line does a great job. Look at all of Louisville's guys knocked off the ball, right? Look at that wall of people. That leaves a one-on-one tackle in the open field with their Sam linebacker. Cam Harris makes a miss. Mark Pope, remember him? He's the one that just caught the 3rd down. He's not thinking about that anymore. He's just thinking about blocking his guy, and he runs his guy just about out of bounds. Cam doesn't want to go out of bounds, so watch him cut back just to get, he could have gone out of bounds at the 36 right there, but you know what? I'm going to go fight for 3 extra yards, and he gets it out there, right? Boom, big time run.
Now, Coach, back up a little bit. There was a bunch of big fellas working their way down the field, getting ready for the next play as well.
There's no doubt, because they got to go, right? They got to go, and watch them immediately find the next signal, and look at the great job of just everybody here together. Ja'Kai Clark's got one on the ground. Jared Williams is pinning his guy. I mean, but the different, just knocking guys backwards, it just creates a short edge for Cam. Really, really nice to see. So again, here we go. We're right back to the line of scrimmage. Louisville's guys, see how we're ready? And they're not ready. They're not ready. Okay? Bang, here we go. We run the same play to Harley. Derek rips it in there. Oh no, Mike drops it. That's devastating. Oh no, let's worry about that. Let's think about how that's going to affect us, in the next play. Or let's not do that. Let's go play the next play. 2nd and 10, we're not worried about that anymore. We move on to the next play. We run Derek. Now this is actually setting up Jalen Knighton's magical touchdown later in the game. Well, Louisville plays it really good. The reason why they play it really good is because they're not going to play the pass later in the game. But they got us. A tackle for loss. Look at all their guys. They're happy now. 3rd down and long. What are we going to do? You play the next play. And watch De'Aaron King go through his read right here. His read starts here to the field. He looks to the field. They got this guy doubled. Not available. His next read is a tailback. That guy's running out the tailback. Not available. His next read is Will Mallory going down the middle field. Not available. His next read is Michael Redding right there. Not available. And watch him. Look at his footwork. Look at his. Comes all the way back across the field. And the last guy, the 5th read on his play is Brevin Jordan. Rips it into him. Now, everyone sees Brevin Jordan's long touchdown and all that. But to me, this is a big-time play. When you catch the ball 3 yards in front of the chains and you cut back into the field, you refuse to run out of bounds, and you get a 1st down. And again, what you see is it's devastating for the defense. It's exciting for the offense. And guess what's about to happen next? Hand the ball to the referee, because here we come again. Look at Louisville's guys on defense. Still not ready. Just waiting to get their signal. Bang, away we go. Jalen Knighton right up the middle. Watch your big guys right here, Don. Watch 51 and 62. Do a really nice job working in concert right here. See that cut right there like that? That's the hole we're trying to find. Jalen eventually sees it, does a nice job of ripping it forward. Everyone's going to remember the big highlight run, but that's a really nice gain right there. Keeps the tempo going. 2nd and 6. Remember Brevin Jordan, the one that just made the fun play on 3rd down? Well, this is one for the highlight shows. Because now they all want to chase Jalen Knighton on the run game. They leave a soft safety on top of Brevin. A great block by Michael Redding. How about a freshman in there making big plays in the red zone? Don't run where? Don't run out of bounds in this program. Make him tackle. They don't want to do it. And Brevin almost scores. Oh, what a great play. It's a touchdown. Oh, no, it's not a touchdown. The guy said we stepped out of bounds at the 4. Guess what we do? Play the next play. Line up and play the next play. They do it. They line up, play the next play. I'm telling you now, this is physically exhausting. It's mentally exhausting. So it's a battle of wills. Who's better trained mentally and physically, us or them? We get lined up. Again, a great push. We'll show you from the end zone. Look at a guy like Michael Redding. He's got a pass play on this. Look at him run his route, just anxious and eager to get through in there. Watch the block out here. Boom. Just a guy striking. There's one team that's playing a little more urgent than the other team on the 10th play of a drive. It's actually more than a 10-play drive. It's 10 plays since the bad penalty that took away the 70-yard touchdown. And to get back in the end zone, look at the reaction of De'Aaron King. That's not him throwing a touchdown pass. That's him handing the ball off. And you see that joy right there for one of your teammates? That is awesome. That's leadership. When you spontaneously celebrate like that for the success of someone else, that's being connected. Brevin Jordan, same thing. You know what I mean? Just that's a team that cares about one another. Watch the hole here from the backside. Again, really nice job. Watch DJ Scaife take his guy and move him out of there. John Campbell's got a hard block. His guy is slanting inside, so he's got to try and cut that off. And maybe he won't make it, but you know what he does? Because he doesn't lose his strain. And see how he doesn't lose his strain, and he keeps that guy from making the tackle. And then Ja'Kai Clark and Corey Gaynor riding the nose guard up to the next level guy, gets it in there. And then Jalen Knighton, again, it's fun. But these are the runs. We know he's got impressive speed on the outside. But look, is there a hole right there? It's hard to find it, but he sticks it in there and finishes the drive in style. That's awesome. That's play the next play mentality, Don.
Coach, real quick, strength and conditioning, that's a good sign right there that you spent a lot of time on it, and Coach Freely's doing a phenomenal job in that whole room is making sure these guys are ready to run this pace of an offense.
Coach Freely does an amazing job with those guys, but the other places, that's Green Tree practice field. Yep. And we went out there in Louisville, and you couldn't have a better night. It was 60-some-odd degrees, everyone felt great. It don't ever feel like that on Green Tree. On Green Tree, the heat index is around 100, and we're doing the same thing. And I promise you, there's not a more difficult place to practice a tempo offense than where we do. But we know if it's really hard on Tuesday and Wednesday, then usually on Saturday it can look like that.
All right, thank you, Coach. That's it for the breakdown segment with head coach Manny Diaz.
Thank you, Don.
We understand your passion to play, your love of the game. We live and breathe it too. At our core is a deep, relentless pursuit to heal the body and alleviate pain, to rehabilitate spirits and restore quality of life, to elevate your performance. Because we not only innovate medicine, we preserve dreams and inspire futures. We are the University of Miami Sports Medicine Institute, so no matter what takes you out of the game, we'll help get you back in. We'll help you recover your game.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
The COVID-19 pandemic has created challenges for all of us, but Canes are resilient. Canes are united. As an athletics department, we are facing significant financial challenges related to the pandemic, but we remain committed to our mission of building champions. We stand united in support of our young men and women and launched the Canes United COVID-19 Relief Initiative. Show your support of the Canes by making a gift today at umcanesunited.com.
It means everything. You come to Miami to beat Florida State. Growing up in South Florida, rooting for the Canes, I've always disliked FSU. It's very personal for me, just playing them. The rivalry is everything. There's so much history, there's so much bad blood behind it.
It's a game that every single year, we have to win. It's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's just a mandatory win game. And that's, the perspective that we go into that week with, that it's a must-win game and we can't, walk away with the L.
That rivalry means a lot, It's the reason you come to University of Miami. And so far, going in my senior year, I'm 3-0 against Florida State. So, I take it personal. And I let the young guys know, this is not a game to mess around. Because you'll be remembered forever in a Florida State game.
It's up. Dorsey, play fake, wants it all. Going to the end zone, touchdown! Down the middle, intercepted. This one's Buchanan, and he might take it back.
You go out on Green Tree, you practice for every game, like it's a national championship. But Florida State game is just the rivalry and just the history, and the war chant while practicing, playing the whole practice, the whole 2 hours of practice. So that's it. That whole week is just a lock-in week.
This week is not like any other week. This game is not like any other game. This is Miami, Florida State. It's legacy week. You get remembered by what happens in the next 7 days.
It is blocked for a touchdown! 40 yards! 3, 2, 1. Busting into the end zone, standing up. DJ Dallas looking in trouble and drilled. Cornerbrook to throw. In trouble and he's sacked. Got it. Intercepted by Miami.
It is always great to be a Miami Hurricane. Certainly tonight is a night to feel that pride, and the rivalry game is Florida State. Will Manso, Josh Darrow, and you see Micheal Barrow there. Joaquin said dominate, and there has been some domination throughout the years and some big moments in this series. You watch something like that, Michael, the rivalry, and you hear these players currently at UM talk about, hey, this is why you come here. And for those that missed the opening segment of Hurricanes Game Day, Michael, you talked a bit about that. This is a big reason why you want to wear the orange and green, to be in that spotlight against the Seminoles, isn't it?
Yeah, no doubt. And like I said earlier, man, when you think about sports history, Think about sports history without the battles of Magic versus Bird. Think about the history, sports history with Ali versus Frazier. Think about sports, what would sports history be if you take out the Yankees versus the Red Sox? And it's no different when you talk about Miami versus Florida State. Man, if you take away that, man, you take a big part of college football history. These games are legendary. I love what Coach Diaz said. You know, a lot of times people, when they play a former team in the pros, are like, oh, no, this game means nothing. No, he's like, no, this game means everything. This is a legacy game. What you do in this game will be echoed for years, man. And no doubt about it. I made a play in this game in 1992. To this day now, people constantly asking me about that play, you know? And that's the thing about it. When you look at those Miami moments, you look at the plays, like you show Ed Reed's speech, you talk about, you see Sean Taylor, the monster game that he had in 2003 and 2002. It's like these games not only affect the people, it affects the whole community because people are watching. And it's like when you're a little kid, man, you go see people make plays. I thought you talked about, Will, how Benny Blaze, like he motivates you when you saw it. The same thing happened to me, man. When I saw Benny Blaze in the 87 game, him and Selwyn Brown come off the hash and bringing that wood, and Benny Blaze started doing like this. I was like, I want to play safety. I want some of that, man. This game changes people's lives and has a positive impact. So it's more than just a game, man. It's a life. It's in your DNA. What you do on this field against this game, man, is what legends are made of, man.
Some legacies behind us here at Hard Rock Stadium could be built tonight. So as we look at what Florida State offers this year, look, we talked already about Miami being 12th in the nation, what that means, the good, the bad, the ugly so far for the Canes, and there's been a lot of good. When you look at Florida State, we start the enemy intel. Let's start it, Josh, with the offense. Mike Norvell being there, the offense is expected to be different. You know, what do you see with this offense? What's the expectation for this offense to be under Mike Norvell?
Well, I'm going to get to that in 1 second. But can we cut back to Mike for a second? That play in 92, I'm having a hard time. What happened on that play? I'm having a hard time. I don't remember. Like, you claimed that you did something that people talk, but what was that again?
I don't know. It was receiver.
What happened?
Yeah.
Joaquin said dominate.
Joaquin said dominate, man.
Dominate. That's what happened.
One of my favorite plays ever. I mean, I'm a Cane fan. That's what I mean. You think of the iconic plays. Michael, how many times have you been asked to sign a picture with that picture and they wanted you to sign right there when you made the hit?
Hey, so many times, and then especially when I was coaching at Miami, I mean, literally, once a week at the least, somebody would ask me how I played. They may forget some of the details. Man, I remember you playing that Florida State game and you hit that boy. What's his name? Eastover Noveno. Yeah, boy, you bad. And it's so amazing when you talk about it, right? That play, how preparation, man, like you put in the details, because that play happened because I put in film study. And I saw a tendency that I kept watching. I was like, wait a minute. Anytime they swung the back, it was the only time they did that play. And so I was like, man, if they do that in the game, I'm going to make them pay. And so happened they ran it early in the game, and the umpire got in my way. And I was like, man, and this dude was killing us. As a matter of fact, he just came off a long kickoff return. I said, man, because I was his host when he came to Florida State. I said, man, you went to the old girls' school. No, I'm glad you didn't come to Miami. He was like, man, whatever. I said, man, I'm going to knock you out, man. And, man, how did I know I was prophetic? 3 plays later, boom, preparation made opportunity, and it was over, man. It was over. So it's just funny how those games happen, man. But you see plays like that constantly being made throughout the whole history, man.
One of the iconic plays in college football history, not just Miami and Florida State history. Amazing. All right, well, Josh, as we turn it to today's game, who will try to make the big plays for Florida State's offense? Again, it's a challenge. It's a different thing with Mike Norvell, but what when we talk offense, do you see that they want to try to do?
Well, I'm hoping this doesn't bite me you-know-where, because we talked earlier about bosses, and you look at Florida State, they're missing some bosses. And you go back a few years, Dalvin Cook, Jameis Winston, Kelvin Benjamin, Devontae Freeman, Rashad Green. Now, fortunately for Miami, They don't have those guys. But the bigger storyline today is that Florida State, not only do they not have their head coach in Mike Norvell, but they don't have their play caller. Mike Norvell is the offensive coordinator for Florida State. He calls the plays. So beyond not having your head coach, in only game 2 in a new system, you don't have your play caller. That's a massive story, in my opinion. Now, Kenny Dillingham is going to call the plays. He's been with Mike Norvell. Obviously, he's familiar with the offense. It's kind of like Blake Baker and Manny Diaz, but still, what Mike Norvell did at Memphis was off the charts. His team averaged 41 points a game in the 4 years he was there. They scored over 40 points 30 times. And just to put that in perspective, in the last 4 years, Miami's only scored over 40 points 13 times. So not having your play caller, who just happens also to be your head coach, that's a big deal. Now let's talk about who is important for Florida State when it comes to their personnel. And for me, it starts and ends with the quarterback, James Blackman. Now, what does James Blackman do well? James Blackman has played in a lot of games. This will be his 24th start as a Florida State quarterback. He also has some natural arm talent, okay? He can scramble and move his feet. He can push the ball down the field. But on the flip side, even though he's an experienced quarterback, he's someone that still doesn't always look comfortable in the pocket. He's going to move his feet. He's going to move outside. He'll make a bad decision like this, as he did in week 1 against Georgia Tech. You know, a year ago, he threw 11 interceptions. That was one of the worst in the ACC. So when you have a guy like James Blackman, if you're Miami, as a defensive player, your mindset has to be, there's going to be opportunities. Now, there's a reason, in my opinion, he's not always comfortable in the pocket, and he's taken off and scrambling and making plays with his feet. And that's because Florida State has a very young and inexperienced offensive line. You see here the right tackle giving up the strip sack. Florida State played 3 right tackles in the game against Georgia Tech. In their starting lineup, they have 2 redshirt freshmen, their center, Maurice Smith, and their left tackle, Darius Washington. So you look back to last year when Miami went up to Tallahassee and dominated them. Greg Rousseau had 4 sacks. They had 16 tackles for loss and 9 sacks in a win at Tallahassee a year ago. So yes, James Blackman, it kind of starts and ends with him. But in my opinion, really at the end of the day, it's going to come down to what kind of pressure, what kind of impact can Miami's defensive line have against a younger, more inexperienced offensive line for Florida State.
And you keep going through, the weapons that he has. You've mentioned Tamorrin Terry a few times, Scary Terry, whatever you want to call him. But when you look at a player like that and what he brings in the challenge, what is it that's so impressive about him, Josh?
Well, first and foremost, the Scary Terry, he's 6'4". He's a massive target, and he can run. We talked about it. He led the ACC in yards per catch. James Blackman likes to push the ball down the field. He had 4 touchdown plays of over 60 yards. You look at a guy like Warren Thompson, who's the other receiver, the redshirt sophomore from Armwood up there in the northern part of the state. He stands at 6'3". And if you go back to earlier in the show, we talked about Miami, those 50-50 balls by the DBs, the finishing plays where in the Louisville and the UAB game, it was the Louisville wide receivers finishing the plays and the UAB wide receivers finishing the plays. With guys like Terry and guys like Thompson, it's got to be Miami's DBs that when the ball goes up in the air, Miami's got to have their head in the right place. They've got to do their work early off the line of scrimmage, and they got to make sure they stay connected to the wide receivers. So to me, it's about Miami's DBs finishing the plays, not how they start, as we saw in some of the earlier clips. It's about how they finish the plays.
All right, so that's the focus of Florida State's offense. And for clarity, for those that were listening to Josh earlier about Mike Norvell, he is not, of course, coaching the team today. It was announced last week that he was battling with COVID-19, said to be fine, but because of protocol, cannot be here tonight coaching his Seminoles. Now let's turn our attention to defense. And of course, Michael, we turn to you on that. When you look at Florida State on tape, when you look at what they've played this year, and you look at a guy like, say, Marvin Wilson, and you look at the players that they have, what is it defensively that they try to get to, and that how they'll try to slow down Miami tonight?
Well, when I look at their defense, one thing comes to mind is that old Wendy's commercial with the old lady and say, "Where's the beef? Where's the beef?" And man, starting up front with their D-line, like I think about Art Kehoe, and he said, man, these guys are wolves. And man, hopefully it's not a full moon, because that number 21, Marvin Wilson, man, he can turn into a werewolf. That joker's a beast. He's a grown man. He's hard to handle. They got a lot of guys up front. I mean, not only on offense, but also special teams. He had 2 blocked field goals last time they played. And this guy, man, he's tough to handle, man. And not just him, but the other D tackles. They do a 4-man rotation, and all those guys are 300 plus. And then the defensive end, to cap it off, both of those guys are 6'5" and 6'7". So up front, man, this is one of the most physical defenses that I've seen thus far, and they're going to give us some challenge. Their linebackers do a good job. They're returning all 3, and those guys are running hit guys led by number 33 Gainer. But the difference maker is in the secondary, and the guy that leads that pack is Asante Samuel Jr. Yeah, Asante Samuel, that's his son who played for New England, who gave Dolphins problems. Hey, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. This guy had 2 interceptions in the first game of the season. Could have had another one. Hey, this guy's an exceptional player, man. He's glued on the receiver. Hey, they need to call him a glove, man, because he do a great job in coverage. All right, and he makes some plays and stuff like that. So obviously, with our receivers, it's going to be a big challenge. They got to step up and make some plays and win those one-on-one battles and stuff like that. And then also on this play right here, Marvin Austin, the werewolf, right? Excuse me, Marvin Wilson, the werewolf, man. Hey, got pressure on the quarterback, and it created that interception. So we got to do a great job up front, winning in the trenches, giving DeAndre King time to throw the pass, time to read the coverage, and to get the ball in the right hand, man, because Florida State, man, they gave up 436 yards, but don't let that fool you, right? Don't let that fool you at all. When they were bend and not great defense, all right? So just what I was talking about, something saying you in this play right here, great ball recognition, breaking on the ball, should have had another pick, man. And so we got to be good with our route. We got to be good with our ball placement. All right, Derek King can't try to force the issue. He got to take what the defense give him. They're going to give us some opportunity. They're not really a complex defense. They're very vanilla on defense, right? They do a lot of too-high coverage and stuff. So it's going to be a lot of one-on-ones with the tight ends and their safeties, our receivers versus their DBs. And then it's going to give us some opportunities, right? So we can take advantage of those things, man. Once we establish the run and get things going, we should be able to run our offense like normal.
I'm glad you mentioned too, Michael, about, I think fans, look, Miami fans are always going to hate Florida State. That's your rival. But I think you look at a piece of paper, you say, okay, they give up this X amount of yards. They stink. They're not good. They're struggling. Right. But you mentioned it there. There's a lot of talent on the defense. These are top recruits that have a lot of talent. If Miami doesn't make the plays, Josh mentioned offensively, for Florida State, but if Miami doesn't do what they want to get to the offense, there is talent there for that Florida State defense to find success tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's the first game of the season, right? And you got to look at it, the factors, right? First game of the season, you look at our defense, right? We're going through some growing pains. We're refining some things, no different. I wouldn't look too much into that. When you look at that side of the ball, right, they got some talent. They have some talent. Like, they got some wolves on that front line, like I mentioned. Those guys play physical. Hey, they don't play. It's not a complicated defense. Allows those guys to run and hit. And they trust me, they bring the wood. So we can't go in there sleepwalking and think like, well, just because Georgia Tech got 436 yards, we should do that. No, we go in with confidence, but we got to understand, it's one play at a time, move to the next play, do what we got to do, and dominate, man. Take advantage of them because they're going to give us some opportunities, and it should build our confidence, but we can't go and sleep like, okay, it's just going to happen. No, those guys are going to come ready to play. And like I said, man, I hope it's not a full moon because that Marvin Wilson, man, he's a grown man and he turns into a werewolf and he could be a problem, all right, for our offensive line, man, if we're not ready to play.
The talent is there on both sides. We're ready for some games. Yeah, werewolves. We got all kinds of stuff. Joaquin said dominate. We got Josh's speech. You're getting it all here on Hurricanes Game Day as we get you ready for the rivalry game. As we head to break, and we're certainly going to talk a lot more about the history of this. We have the story of former UM soccer player Christina Fisher for today's Canes in career. You can always find out more at miami.edu.
In the Miami Herbert Business School. Christy, thank you so much for joining me today. You were a highly recruited athlete coming out of high school. What made you choose the University of Miami?
Well, honestly, when I was looking at schools, I didn't know exactly where I wanted to go. But once I visited
saw the campus and met the team and the coaches. That really helped set apart Miami from all the other schools, but also the academics was a huge part in my decision, as they're one of the best in the country, and I really wanted to focus on that as well as athletics.
When you made that decision to come to the University of Miami because of its academic prestige, what made you specifically pick the Miami Herbert Business School to pursue your studies?
I don't know, I've always liked numbers, so I kind of wanted to get into that. And my dad, he's an engineer, but he also got his Master's of Business Administration from the University of Miami. So I think that kind of played a part in it. I graduated high school early and I brought in credits, so I was able to excel my undergraduate process, and I graduated within 3.5 years. And then at the time, they had just started this new 7-month accelerated MBA, and it was like the first time of it at the University of Miami. And so I was able to enroll in that and get it all done, and just graduated last December. So it was an awesome experience, and I'm forever grateful.
What was your favorite part about being in that program? Was it your cohorts? Was it your professors? What was it that really stood out to you about this accelerated program?
The teachers were awesome, but honestly, the cohort made it the best experience ever. We were with each other nonstop all day, every day, and we just got really close. And so they're friends for life, and it's awesome to have that.
As one of the more than 1,200 physicians on the University of Miami Health System team,
I want to welcome you.
Our facilities are open.
And we're ready to care for you.
Our commitment to your health is unwavering.
And we have implemented many new guidelines to keep us safe.
We are ready to care for you.
In our facilities or virtually, wherever you are.
We're ready.
And we look forward to caring for you.
See a specialist today, in person or virtually.
King and Moss left. Dorsey back. Has time. Goes into the end zone. Touchdown. Shockey, the backup tight end.
Oh, my. Yeah, as we come back here, Hurricanes game day. Yes, it is a game day, a special one indeed inside of Hard Rock Stadium, as you have got Miami and Florida State coming your way, and we are getting you ready. Will Manso, Josh Darrow, and Micheal Barrow, and guys, that Jeremy Shockey play, all I remember about that day is it was 250 degrees. It's sweating, humidity and sweat, but it's worth the sweat when you get a win. Guys, we're going to get to a new segment called Tale of the Tape in a moment. But you know what, guys, since we're talking about tape, we talked earlier about another tape. Let's take a look at a special Tale of the Tape first.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
yeah. Woo! Receive it.
Woo!
Receive it.
Michael, is that 1,087th time you've now watched that hit?
Exactly. Receive it. Oh, man. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Come get him.
Oh, no.
Come get him.
Oh, no. No,
him.
Seminoles were seriously injured in the making of this film. Tomarek Rivalry went on to have a nice NFL career.
Oh.
But that hit, my goodness. What a hit.
Oh, man.
You mentioned earlier. All the guys, it makes me laugh, Michael. You said that people ask you all the time. I remember Ray Allen always talks about his shot, the Game 6 3-pointer. He says, people say to him, hey, do you remember that? And he says, yeah, remember it? I'm the one who did it. Of course I remember it.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I'm pretty sure you remember that play pretty well. Part of Florida State Miami lore, and we've got to talk about the actual tale of the tape, guys. So let's get your opinions on different things that we want to eye, and the eyes on the key is we're going to start off with topic 1, Michael, as we get the tale of the tape.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier when I was talking about what I learned from our defense going against Louisville offense, and one of the things I pointed out was, eyes on your key, and I said we'll talk about it as segment. Now we're the segment because one thing that Florida State does, it's like 3-card Marley. They got some misdirection stuff and some false read stuff that if you don't have your eyes on a proper key, you're going to be lost. So when I was a player, when I got in the NFL, I had a coach, Greg Williams, who's currently defensive coordinator for the Jets. And he taught me the importance of eyes on the key. If we could pull up that chart, that graph that we put together, and Will, I want you to read this chart and you'll see. Will, can you read that for us? That first paragraph in the box?
It's got me. It's definitely. I don't know if I've been drinking, Michael. If I've been drinking, freaking. I thought I was going to wait till the game to start.
Yeah, no, go ahead and read it for me.
According to an English university study, the order of letters in a word doesn't matter. The only thing that's truly important is that the first and last letter of every word is in the correct position. The rest can be jumbled, and one is still able to read the text without difficulty. Did I pass, Michael?
And that's what I'm talking about. So when a play starts, it's important that you gotta have your eyes on the correct key. I tell my guys, as a player, I use it as a player and as a coach. Hey, I tell them all the time, hey, line up, read your key, and get to the ball with bad attention. And what's one of our problems, what I talked about earlier, all our issues is self-corrected, self-inflicted wounds that we can self-correct. And if we can put our eyes in the right position, then it's going to put us in a position to make plays, because where your eyes go, your feet go. Now, let's look at the first play. Go to the film. Our first play against UAB, right? The teams are attacking us with the boot. Right now, we're in man coverage right now. So you look at it. Another word for it is cat coverage. I got this cat, you got this cat. So one buzzword we say as we line up, go ahead and roll the tape. Hey, in man coverage, you got to keep your eyes on your luggage. No different. You go to the airport, they say keep your eyes on the luggage. Got to keep his eyes on the luggage. Because right now we're doing a boot, freeze, right up top. All right, those guys up top to the right side, swerving, Gervin, that's his responsibility. He's looking back at the quarterback, and now this guy's running free down the sideline. Go ahead and continue to run that play. All right. So this is yardage. When we talk about explosive passes, this is one of the reasons why we're giving up explosive passes, because our eyes are not in the right play. Let's go to the next play. All right. Same situation. All right. It's a copycat lead. This is the first play of the game. What play you think they're gonna run? Boot. All right. Run the play. All right. Run the play. Right here. Let's go. They ran 4 boots on this opening drive. Here's one. Now look at it. Freeze. Look at the difference. All right. Frierson, he's in great position. Even though he fall, he's in great position because he had great eye discipline. It was zone coverage this time. He had great eye discipline. He looked through the line, through his key. He saw that's coming back, and he was in great position. Go ahead and roll it to the next play. Excellent job, man. All right. Your eyes will take. Same play, like I said, in this opening drive, you had 3 to 4 boots, right? They was trying to take it. Same thing. Let's go ahead and run the play right here, all right? Same situation. This guy, crossfire alert. They're communicating. Bam. Great job right here. Great job on McLeod. Great job here. Excellent job. Nowhere to throw the ball. Why? Because our eyes was in our key. All right, so one thing they was trying to test it on. Now, this is a tough situation. This is 3rd and 2. So in this situation with this little exotic pistol wishbone look, they can either run the ball or pass the ball. We're in man coverage. Go ahead and roll the tape a little bit. Bubba is coming down. They're communicating. Who you got? Bubba's got 41. All right, Frosting got 83. Excellent job. All right, man coverage. You got your eyes on your luggage. Frosting right there. He's Bubba's covered. He's able to come out, make a play that it was 3rd and 2. Now it becomes 3rd and 4th and 4 because you had a 2-yard loss on that play. Why? It all started, right? Eyes on your key. When you're eyes on your key, right? 5 things in effect, right? 5 things. All right. It affects your alignment. It puts you in a great position to execute your assignment. It allows you to handle any adjustment with motions and stuff. It allows you to be aggressive, right? And it allows you, right, to make plays, to attack and make plays. So that's what you got to have. It all start of having great eye discipline. Have your eyes on your key so you can make some plays and ball, baby.
Eyes are the key indeed. And by the way, Michael, I'm using that chart for my daughters. I want them to test out their knowledge and how they can read. If Daddy can do it, you can do it. Topic number 2.
You did a great job. You did a great job, man.
I appreciate that, Michael. You taught me a lesson. You are a good coach, that's for sure. RPOs, and that's a popular term, Josh, that you hear in football now. And every team has versions of it and ways they go to it. But when you look at the tail of the tape, what do you see with RPOs?
Well, you hear what Michael said about eye discipline, right? So now let's look at it in the reverse. Let's look at it from an offensive perspective. If you're LL, as Mike likes to call him, if you're Rhett Lashley. So when you when you look at the Georgia Tech game in Florida State, their linebackers for Florida State, Gaynor, Warner, Emmett Rice, those guys like to play downhill. Now, Rhett Lashley is familiar with Florida State's defensive coordinator because he came over from Memphis a year ago. But the tempo offense, your play action, your RPO, your zone read stuff, all of that is meant to mess up defensive eye discipline. And we're going to show you a couple things that Miami has done against Louisville that hopefully they can use to counter some aggressive play by the Florida State front sevens. Now, we look at our first play here. You can freeze it. You can see Mark Pope is aligned to the boundary, okay? And now we can roll the tape. And Miami's going to run a little bit of a zone read, freeze it, fake handoff, right? They fake the handoff, and Mark Pope had plenty of grass to run that quick slant to the inside, roll it. Roll that tape, and you can see Mark Pope try to, get into the end zone pretty good. So next play here, right? Next play here, look at the alignment. You've got Brevin Jordan in the slot. Let's roll tape. Brevin Jordan comes in motion, freeze it. You got the fake motion. Linebackers are sucked up. Now, this pass was incomplete. Roll tape. But look at Brevin Jordan is wide open with Will Mallory blocking at the top of the screen.
Okay.
If Miami can execute that play better, it's a huge play for the Hurricanes. Now we have Brevin Jordan bottom of the screen. You've got Michael Redding outside of him. You've got a safety in deep position. This is an easy read for De'Ara King as we roll the tape here, right? Even though they're going with outside zone to the field, as we roll the tape here, De'Ara King probably already knows he's got Brevin Jordan to toss the ball off to here, short side boundary. So as you see him circled, you run the outside zone, you come back with the quick toss to Brevin Jordan. We got the high hurdle. They almost score, and Miami's in business. Again, everything's flowing left, come back right, and Miami almost scores on this play. And then, of course, the big play that Miami hit Louisville with. Again, you got Ja'Kai Clark pulling here. You got all the linebackers either watching Ja'Kai because they're thinking it's run, or even watching De'Ara King with the false step. Now roll tape. There goes the rooster, baby. There goes the rooster. I don't see a Louisville defender anywhere on the screen. What is going on? There is nobody in the rooster is running at 21 miles per hour. So watch these linebackers, okay? First of all, watch Ja'Kai Clark, the left guard. He's going to pull. All the linebackers read those keys that Michael Barrow's talking about. The outside linebacker is watching De'Ara King, and the rooster is running free. The rooster is running free down the sideline. I don't see a red jersey anywhere in sight. So we get back to what LL is going to hopefully do today for the University of Miami. You run that RPO, you run the misdirection, you use your offensive line. All those run schemes that are built into the RPO is to play mind games with guys like Michael Barrow so that you can create openings in the second level of the field and create some easier plays.
I like that.
Do I sound like a coach? I kind of feel like I sound like a coach there.
You did.
You've been talking to Michael too much. Those pregame chats with Michael have got you turned into a coach. That's what's going on. That is your tail of the tape. We certainly enjoyed that segment. We've got more to come here on Hurricanes Game Day. We've got the keys to the game. We've got a surprise later in the show. Don't go anywhere. But here's a message, though, from UN President Dr. Julio Frenk.
Ready to care for you.
In our facilities or virtually, wherever you are.
We're ready.
And we look forward to caring for you.
See a specialist today in person or virtually.
Download the new Miami Hurricanes app today for the ultimate Canes fan experience.
We understand your passion to play, your love of the game. We live and breathe it too. At our core is a deep, relentless pursuit to heal the body and alleviate pain, to rehabilitate spirits and restore quality of life, to elevate your performance. Because we not only innovate medicine, we preserve dreams and inspire futures. We are the University of Miami Sports Medicine Institute, so no matter what takes you out of the game, we'll help get you back in. We'll help you recover your game.
And there you have it, your best dressed fan. Love to see that. A lot of University of Miami Hurricane pride tonight with the mask, with the shirts, with the Joaquin said dominate. Whatever you got that's green, make sure to wear it tonight. The orange and green. Will Manso, Micheal Barrow, Josh Darrow here at Hurricanes Game Day. If you've been watching throughout the last almost 2 hours now, we appreciate it. If you're just joining us, we are getting you ready for kickoff tonight in this rivalry game. Yeah, we've been working hard. We've been analyzing all this. And Michael, we're going to turn our attention to, I think, what everybody wants to know. How do you beat Florida State? How do you go out and do it? So let's get to our keys of the game now, presented by your South Florida BMW Centers. Michael, the floor is yours. What are the keys to the game tonight to beat Florida State?
Yeah, I'm just trying to, first of all, before I get into that, I'm trying to see why I didn't win Best Dressed with my Joaquin say dominate. Come on, man. Who's doing the voting over there, man? Can a brother get a vote? Come on, man.
You showed it off too late.
Can you hear the A? My keys to the game. My keys to the game.
Hey, but listen, you know what? The keys to the game, man. Number one, right? Hey, right off the bat, man, you just got to do your job, all right? Right now it's a primetime game, and what happens, a lot of people think they got to make up stuff, man. No, just do your job. Do what you, take your training to the games. Don't make up stuff, man. Just do your job. Do your play. Do your job. Don't play as an individual. Play together as a team. Number two, we got to protect the ball and take the ball, all right? We've been doing a great job of not giving the ball away, all right? And then now, last game, we got it going. Takeaways come in bunches. We got to continue that, right? We can't let Blackman off the hook. Right now, Blackman is the career leaders in touchdown in Florida State history, surprising with 42. But flip that number around, he's got 24 interceptions. And last game, hey, he continued the streak. He was involved with 3 takeaways himself, giveaways himself. He turned 2 fumbles and an interception. And then number 3, baby, Joaquin said, dominate, baby. We got to dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. We can't turn down number callers, man. This is a physical group on defense, and we got to be more physical, man. On our defense, we got to dominate their offensive line. Like Josh said, they got some weakness up front in their offensive line. We got to take advantage of it, man. Our defense with the scheme with Baker blitzing and stuff like that, we got to put pressure on Blackman, because when you put pressure on a pressure bust Pike, man, he's going to throw some interception. And it's one key that we didn't get, right, which is always a key to the game in this series, the kicking game, man. Hey, we got a kicker. Thank you. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus, right? And God forbid if it comes down to the kicking game, man, he can get it done. But with their kicker, no. I don't know about that. last game, man, he missed a 37-yarder. So, hey, it could come down to that, but we got to do a great job, man. Those are my keys to the game.
Those are your keys to the game, presented by your South Florida BMW Centers. Guys, I'll be honest with you. I'm just going to say it right now as a fan. I don't need that drama in my life. I hope it doesn't come down to a kicker. As good as Jose Borregales is, can we just not have the drama? We've got enough history. Can we save the drama for another day? I would like that.
Hey, Will, you know what happened, man, in this series, what's so funny is that 9 games came down to a field goal. We started off in 1983 with the Flea making that kick to put us in position for a national championship. And then just think about it. It was 4 wide rights and 2 wide lefts, right? And then on a negative from us, right, it was the Miami Muff, as they called it, and the blocking a rock. So obviously, hopefully it don't come down to that. But if it does, man, we have a kicker, baby, that can get it done. If we need to line up and get it done, obviously what we showed earlier, man, they blocked 2 field goals. So our protection up front, man, has got to be on point. We can't fall asleep because these guys are dangerous, and obviously they can change the game. But obviously, if we're ready to get down to that moment, man, we can make it happen, man. But from my standpoint, if we just do the keys to the games that I mentioned, man, to me, hey, man, it should be, I hate to say it, but it is. I mean, we should dominate, like Joaquin said. It should be no contest.
Yeah, and you said the Heat had this whole saying, we got shooters. Well, we got kickers. We got kickers.
Exactly.
We got a punter, we got a kicker, we got it all. So when we come back, we're going to talk much more to get you ready for the game, much more with Josh and Mike. But as we go to break, you may have noticed that in the prior segment, when we sent it to the story and the message from UN President Dr. Julio Frenk, there was an audio issue. So we want to have Dr. Frenk, of course, as the president of the University of Miami, to certainly get his message across. Gotta listen to the president.
He paid a bill around here.
Make sure he does. So let's try that again. Hopefully the audio is fine here. You get the message from UN President Dr. Julio Frenk.
There's one video y'all can't
Good evening, and thank you for tuning into Hurricanes Game Day. Sports has always had the power to unite us, and in South Florida, nothing brings our community closer together than the passion and pageantry of Hurricanes football. Tonight, our Hurricanes, undefeated and ranked 12th in the country, welcome their biggest rival, Florida State University, to Hard Rock Stadium for a nationally televised game. Miami and Florida State have provided college football with some of its most memorable games, and I have no doubt tonight will mark another great chapter in this historic matchup. Over the course of a football game, there will be challenges and obstacles that force you to read and react accordingly. But if your game plan is sound and you are confident in your preparation, you will make those decisions with conviction and calm. We tackled the reopening of our campus this fall with much the same approach. In the midst of a global pandemic, we knew there would be transmission of the virus, but we also knew we would be prepared to address it. Our plan required compliance with a set of strict public health measures, but it was also adaptive and responsive. We moved forward with taking these calculated risks because the reward and educational experience for our students that will enrich the rest of their lives is truly compelling. Our football team, along with student athletes in other sports, were among the first to return to our campus this summer. They modeled the kind of teamwork necessary to overcome any challenge, including a pandemic. They relied on one another and on their adaptability and creativity as they changed behavior to look out for each other and for all of us. Our students, faculty, and staff had followed their powerful example, and in doing so, we are all working towards a successful semester. But we cannot let our guard down. Let's continue to look out for one another, encourage one another, and make this university a model to which communities around the world can look for inspiration in these challenging times. If there is one thing I have learned in the 5 years I have been at the U, it is that football is not just part of what we do here. It is an embodiment of the values that define us as a community: team spirit, discipline and hard work, fair and respectful competition, adherence to shared rules, integrity. And though the game may look and feel slightly different in response to the pandemic, it is still exciting and inspiring to see our student athletes competing in the sport they love. If you're coming to tonight's game, have fun, and please follow the health and safety protocols that have been put in place at Hard Rock Stadium for your protection. If you're watching from campus or cheering from home with family and friends, know that we can feel your energy and support all the way to the field. Thank you to all of our fans, alumni, and donors for their continued support. From all of us at the University of Miami, go Canes!
Irvin's got it. Irvin's free. Irvin's gone. Touchdown, Miami.
That's when we talk, and we have Will Manso, Micheal Barrow, and Josh Darrow. We've talked here Hurricane Game Day about those moments that made you a Canes fan. That Michael Irvin touchdown, I mean, that's anybody who's from the 80s. You know what I mean? If you're a teenager in the 80s, or you remember that moment, where you were, and what it meant to Hurricanes history. Right away, you knew that was a special moment.
No doubt. That is definitely a special moment right there. Man, that game, man, that never gets old. Michael Irvin, man, doing his thing down the sideline, over Dodge. Dodge took the wrong angle. And, man, it's just a classic. That's where stars are born, man. That's where Michael Irvin just took it to a next level, man. The playmaker became truly the playmaker that night, you know? And then the other half of that play, that game to finish it off is another iconic moment with Bubba McDowell. They went for the two-point conversion, and he's knocking the play down. So, man, that game helped propel us, man, to position us for to play for the national championship. So it was awesome, man.
Great memories that we've been able to share with Michael and with Josh over the last 2 hours. Yeah. But before we get to more, hopefully, new memories and talking to a guy who certainly has plenty of memories in just a moment, why don't we get to the band? You go to a college football game, you got to get the band, and at UM, it is the band of the hour.
Hey, Hurricane fans, it's time to show your spirit. Give me an M. Give me an I. Give me an A. Give me an M. Give me an I. What's that spell? Who's gonna win? the spirit going. Give me a C. Give me an A. Give me an N. Give me an E. Give me an S. Whoa, Hurricanes.
The COVID-19 pandemic has created challenges for all of us, but Canes are resilient. Canes are united. As an athletics department, we are facing significant financial challenges related to the pandemic, but we remain committed to our mission of building champions. We stand united in support of our young men and women and launched the Canes United COVID-19 Relief Initiative. Show your support of the Canes by making a gift today at umcanesunited.com.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
Won.
3 yards away for the win. The kick on the way. He missed it. Wide left. It's up. Missed it to the right.
That's awesome.
That's our best, Bobby.
Awesome. I love it.
Bobby Barney, one of the great coaches in college football history, but that face, Canes fans will always remember that face.
Yeah. I absolutely love that, man. That's priceless. Go ahead, Josh.
Can I tell you something? We watched that in pre-production meetings. I've seen it 100 times just being a fan growing up, and watching it again now. It is mind-blowing what's happened in this series, right? 3 kicks wide right, a kick wide left, all in Miami's favor. I can't think of another rivalry in college football that's had 4 endings like that.
Right.
It's incredible.
I feel bad for him. You're right. I feel bad for him as though, like, man, that last look, that look on his face, like, I'm like, man, he gonna have a heart attack.
He missed it. All right, well, listen, you know who we've missed? We've missed our special guest. If you've hung around Hurricanes game day, a couple weeks ago, we had our special guest. We had KJ Osborne, now the Minnesota Vikings from a receiver. Now we got Mel Bratton, Canes great, joining us now in a segment we like to call Rings and Chains. And Melvin should be joining us here from Hard Rock Stadium. And there he is, the all-time great. It's so good to see you, Melvin, and to talk a little bit about this rivalry. If you can hear us, first of all, Melvin, you can hear us okay, right? I want to make sure you can hear us okay.
Yeah, I hear you guys. Yeah, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good, man. How you doing,
man?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Melvin, I want to start right from how are you doing? I think Canes fans always remember the greats, and you wonder, hey, what are they up to these days? You look great. How are you doing, and what's life got for you going on right now?
Well, I'm trying to bring sexy back, so I've been working out real hard, you know what I'm saying, trying to, get back to, that size. But no, I've been so busy as far as a sports agent representing NFL players. I'm upset with the NCAA. They just kicked me out on my tickets, so now a certified agent cannot come to the games anymore because I'm a certified agent. I don't understand what's the math about that, but I'm content. So I have a bottled water company also that I have ownership called Keen Water. So I've been doing blessed. I'm doing real, real well. Thank you guys for asking.
Hey,
That's
Melvin,
great to
can you
see.
hear me?
And look great. Sorry that.
Go ahead, Josh.
Hey, Melvin, first and foremost, I just want to say if you're bringing sexy back, I can see my future because I got the gray here, but I see what's going to be coming here down the road. I already got this working, Melvin. Now I see what the rest is going to look like. But it looks good on you.
Baby.
Hey,
let's go.
You came to Miami at the turning point. You were part of the turning point. And a minute ago, we played some of the top moments in this series, and we had to play Steve Walsh to Michael Irvin up there in Tallahassee. You were in that game. You were part of some great moments. But what do you remember about that game, that play, that victory?
Well, actually, I don't know if you guys remember. I think Mike was still in Pampers, at that time down south in Homestead. But it was a lockout. The NFL had a lockout at that time. So you had Jerome Brown, God bless the dead. You had Alonzo Highsmith and Winston Moss that they didn't had a lockout that year. So they were actually there at the game. They came in the locker room at halftime, and they basically pregame speech. First of all, they took over the whole entire pregame speech. They told us, Jimmy, and they MF, I can't say the words right now on television, but it was so crazy that these three guys came in and took over the whole entire pregame speech and told us basically what we need to do to win this game. And it's crazy that I called Deion Sanders out in the paper the week before. I told him he was soft, but he and I are great friends right now. I mean, he trusts me with his kids. He always called me about my input. But I told him he was soft, he wouldn't tackle, and the whole deal. I called him on the paper. So we had a one-on-one situation in the open field, and I saw him wide open. I was like coming up trying to tackle me. I just took the ball and tried to run him over. He cut me down on my ankle. I jumped off, and the words I said I can't say again. I said, "You were soft," this and whatever. He said, "Man, I'm not trying to hit your big butt, saying like that. I ain't gonna try to get hurt to be on the sideline for the rest of the game." So we got a great friendly ride with Florida State, but we don't like them other people, the Gators. I wouldn't even be on here talking nice about these guys, but Florida State, we're friends.
Hey, Melvin, man, you've been part of this rivalry from '83 when you came in that outstanding recruiting class, and then also like '87, Josh talked about as well, man. Tell us some stories about this rivalry, man. Give us some dirt, man. Give me some good stories about it, man. Behind the scenes stories, man.
Hey, listen, because
PG,
you got a new
Melvin,
show, I'm proud of
PG.
you. Listen, I'm gonna give you because you're my little bro, and I should tell a story about you in recruiting and when you came into the weight room, but I ain't gonna go there because you're happily married right now. But anyhow, let's rewind. I mean, it's just so many stories. I mean, when us being at Hurricanes in Florida State, it's a love-hate rivalry, honestly, because the Gators is a hate rivalry. I mean, it's strictly hate. But we had opportunity. Those guys, Pat Carter, he was one of my hosts. I hosted Pat Carter. We came down, and he ended up going to Florida State, and I told him he made the biggest mistake of his life. So a lot of those guys wanted to be Canes, and I tease them all the time with Herb Gainer. One of the stories when Tolbert Bain and Darrell Fullerton, a friend of ours named Chantel Bullock, she played basketball for the U. She went to high school with Herb Gainer. So guess what? So Darrell Fullerton and Tolbert Bain, my roommate, they called Chantel into a meeting to sit down and ask what her girlfriend name was, right? So I was like, why they ask about his girlfriend name? Girl named Jill. Jill, if you're listening, I apologize, sweetie. It's years ago. Hope you're happily married. But they wanted her name. So pregame warm-up, these two gerbils walked up to her in pregame. Her talking noise, wide receiver. He's talking noise, giving him. I think his son. Somebody told me his son is on Florida State roster right now as we speak. They walked up to a pregame. Herb and him, they had words at midfield. they turned to him and say, Herb, how's Jill doing? He looked like, if you ask me what your girlfriend, your wife's name, he's like, you guys know my girlfriend's name. So he's like, he looked at him and said, yeah, we had her last night at the hotel. So mentally, I'm like, dude, you gotta not do this to this guy. So they talking noise about her at the hotel. Because, you know, these things are locked up at the hotel, so you don't know. So Millie had the worst game of his life. But the mindset that we did as Hurricanes, got a component's mindset.
Man, we can listen to scores like this all day. We could have the Mel Bratton hour with the history against Miami and Florida State. But we got a segment. We want to get a kind of a rapid fire segment. We like to call it rings and chains. And obviously we know Canes offense, where's the touchdown rings? Defense, where's the chains? So let's go with topic number one. And topic number one is, what do you think happens tonight more likely? You're going to go rings with the offense, and De'Aaron King will start a new streak. He had that streak snapped in 16 straight games with at least one rushing or one passing touchdown. Or the defense getting that turnover chain tonight. What do you think is more likely to happen? The defense continues the turnover streak, or King restarts his one pass, one rush TD streak tonight?
Number one, King restarts his streak of one pass TD. Trust me, this kid is special. I mean, he's a pocket pass. I mean, he's not a total pocket passer. He's a combination of both. So, I mean, I love this kid's spirit. We have not had an athletic quarterback like this in the history from Jim Kelly, Testaverde, Kozar, Toretto's. I mean, you name it. We got always had pocket passes. So this is totally new for the Hurricanes. We've never seen this type of excitement as far as a kid that can pull the ball down and be creative in the pocket on the Tyler Murray type concept. Kyler Murray.
All right, so we got the rings. No, so we got the rings. Let's get to topic number two. And look, Josh earlier talked about the tight ends and Brevin Jordan and Will Mallory. Do you think it's rings that Jordan and Mallory each get a touchdown tonight? Or do you think the defense gets at least 3 sacks?
Listen, this is personal. We need 3 sacks. Forget that. So if you don't give me whatever I need to get for this work, I'm going with it. I need 3 sacks. I'm going with Mike and the boys as far as defense-wise. I'm not a defensive guy. I don't like those dudes at all, period. But I'm going with the defense. We need 3 sacks.
Bring in the chain. Turnover chain indeed. All right, final one, rings and chains, Melvin. Cameron Harris has been spectacular so far. He's so electric. Michael talked about him earlier. Do you think tonight he runs for 100-plus yards, or the defense holds Florida State to less than 100 yards rushing?
You know what? You guys are out of gas on this question right here. You know I'm going offense. Yeah. The defense dudes, I don't like him. Again, I don't like him. We need our little bro Harris to give us a 200-yard rushing night tonight. We need him on the home run hit. Him and number 4, the young kid, number 4. We need a combo. I need 300 yards between the both of them tonight.
All right, so the rings. We got the chain. We got a little of everything. We got Mel Bratton. Canes great. Melvin, it's so good to see you. You do look great. Go Canes. Thanks for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Mel. Thanks,
I
bro.
appreciate you guys. Thank you. I'm proud of you guys for the show. But y'all keep doing your good thing, man. Love, man. Peace. Let's go.
Thanks, man. Love you, man.
Same to you. All right, guys. And when we come back, final thoughts. We got you ready. Miami, Florida State coming your way. We'll see the Canes coming out of that smoke.
Sometimes, ordinary tasks can become extraordinary feats. The Joint Chiropractic helps to keep you moving through everyday life and beyond. Visit today and receive your initial consultation, exam, and adjustment for just $29. The Joint Chiropractic. You're back, baby.
The COVID-19 pandemic has created challenges for all of us, but Canes are resilient. Canes are united. As an athletics department, we are facing significant financial challenges related to the pandemic, but we remain committed to our mission of building champions. We stand united in support of our young men and women and launched the Canes United COVID-19 Relief Initiative. Show your support of the Canes by making a gift today at umcanesunited.com.
As one of the more than 1,200 physicians on the University of Miami Health System team,
I want to welcome you.
Our facilities are open
And we're ready to care for you.
Our commitment to your health is unwavering.
And we have implemented many new guidelines to keep you safe.
We are ready to care for you.
In our facilities or virtually, wherever you are.
We're ready.
And we look forward to caring for you.
See a specialist today in person or virtually.
We're back, and we're ready for some Canes football. Manso, Micheal Barrow, Josh, Darrow, get you ready for the Canes and Florida.
I got the smoke, baby.
We have got the smoke. Got the real smoke out for Micheal. Guys, we have got, after 2 hours of talking and looking back at history, our final thoughts. Micheal, I'll start with you, having played in this game, knowing what it means. Your final thought on not only what happens tonight, but what tonight means for the University of Miami.
Yeah, man, like Manny Diaz summed it well, man. He said it's a legacy game, man. This is why you come to Miami, man, to play in games like this against Florida State, man. So, like Joaquin said it best, let's go dominate. I can't wait to watch the boys go out there and dominate, man, and do what they're trained to do. Hey, play together, man. Do your job. Make plays, man. It's time to show up and show out tonight, man. So let's go Canes, baby. We got those Canes over here.
Josh,
whoosh, whoosh.
Final thought, Josh. We're nearing game time.
Well, look, it's pretty easy for me. We talked about it earlier. Who's going to be a boss? Who's going to be a boss tonight on the field? And the other thing, too, is, look, this is a game that Miami's favored. If you're favored and you're the better team, then go out and handle your business. You know, there was a time when Florida State racked up 7 wins in a row against Miami. Back in the mid-'90s when Butch was building this thing back, Florida State was beating us up and down the field. So if this is a year when FSU is rebuilding and Miami's the better team, then go out and handle your business and show them who the best team on the field is.
Make it 4 in a row. That's the goal for the Canes tonight. Yeah. Josh, Micheal, it's been so much fun talking here at Hurricanes Game Day. Can we take it down to the field? Why don't we look at what's going down on the field as we're getting ready, as they are getting ready to get started here inside Hard Rock Stadium. Yeah. The Canes and the Noles, all the action coming up. But guys, let's wait it out a bit. Let's take a look at what we see down here. As you see the pictures right now, yeah, they're turning off the lights right now. Let's hope they turn off the lights on Florida State's offense as they're coming out. We're waiting for Miami to come out of that smoke. So we're going to head out.
I love it.
We're going to head out there, and we're going to take a look at what's going on. Micheal, I want you to take me back to your playing days. What are you feeling right now? 2-3 minutes before kickoff.
Yeah, hey, man.
What are you feeling right now?
Man. You hear the crowd, man. You're excited, man. Your butterflies are going in your stomach, man. And this moment right here, man, right now the coaches, they put the coaches out the locker room, and before they came out, somebody get up and say, man, we got 3 things to do, right? I got to say the PG version on TV.
Right now,
Instant bus break the talk, right? They're ready to go, baby. Look at it, man. Look at it. Hey.
Stadium that has about 13,000. They're about to come out right now, coming out of that smoke. You'll love to see it.
Yes.
Oh, there we go.
Yes. Manny, don't get ran over, Manny. Don't run over Manny. They're about to run him over to get on that.
As iconic as it gets, Miami, Florida State, as Michael said earlier, this is the best rivalry in all of college football. Enjoy the action tonight. Thanks for watching Hurricanes Game Day. Go Canes!